My name is Mark Barnaby. I am with Blaylock Walters, and I'm chair of the Bradenton Area EDC for this year. On behalf of the Board of Directors, and I want to welcome you to this public briefing to launch the Build Bradenton Area Plan. We ask hundreds of our local stakeholders and ourselves, as leaders of the EDC, to imagine the Bradenton area future economy, to dream big, and to help create aspirational goals for achieving our community's potential. Many of those dreamers, and I should add doers, are here with us today. We also want to particularly thank and recognize Florida Power and Light for their generous contribution to this plan, which allowed our consultants to conduct a target industry sector analysis, an essential component in determining the best industry sectors and for us to recruit to Manatee County. And we are very grateful to all of our EDC investors and public partners, of course. This is your organization, and today you will see evidence of your investment at work. Let's give you all a round of applause. Speaking of leaders, our community is very fortunate to benefit from the leadership skills and boundless energy of our EDC President and Chief Executive Officer, Sharon Hillstrom. Sharon has been at the helm of this planning effort, managing the work of our expert team of consultants and guiding the participation of our local stakeholders in developing the Build Bradenton Area Plan. So at this time, I'd like to welcome Sharon Hillstrom.
Thank you, Mark, for your gracious introduction and for your commitment to moving our community forward through your professional work and volunteer efforts. Mark exemplifies the leadership, drive, and expertise that is a pervasive theme among our EDC Board of Directors. Please join me in thanking our entire board, whose names you see on the screen. We began today's presentation with a thought-provoking video. Not only did it showcase the many accolades this community has already achieved and is very proud of, but also it should have inspired you to think about what might be considered pie-in-the-sky achievements, but maybe not. We think the sky's the limit for Manatee County. I've lived in Manatee County for more than 20 years, and I've always believed that we need to live up to our potential. Like many of you, I've been part of some really exciting changes in that time, but I'm ready for more. Are you? Well, get ready to be inspired, to have your imagination ignited, to be challenged to have your imagination ignited, but also through hard work and collaborative spirit, we'll achieve our community's potential. But first, for those of you who are not familiar with the EDC, I'll take just a minute to share a little bit about us. The EDC is recognized by Enterprise Florida, our state economic development organization, as the lead organization for all of Manatee County. The EDC is a private corporation that engages in collaborative public-private partnerships to diversify the local economy by attracting and retaining high-wage jobs for our area residents and connecting existing businesses to the resources they need to succeed. A key role for the EDC is spearheading strategic planning for economic development in Manatee County. Our previous multi-year plan, which began in 2009, has served us well. Through an intensive branding effort, we learned that we needed to take a hard look at how we were marketing Manatee County as a business location. One of the key moments was learning from professional external market research and analysis that the EDC's target audiences of relocation consultants and corporate decision makers knew the place name Bradenton, but not Manatee County. So, since November of 2012, we have been reaching out to the world as the Bradenton Area EDC, representing 9 communities on the south edge of the Tampa Bay on the west coast of Florida. Has it worked? In a word, yes. We have generated unprecedented numbers of inquiries and contacts from corporate relocation consultants and businesses alike, and the results have resonated across Manatee County. Since 2009, the EDC has worked with more than 60 businesses on relocations and expansions that are projected to create over 3,500 jobs through 2021. Those jobs represent $1.8 billion in wages back into our local economy. And those businesses, they're projected to make capital investments of over $447 million over the same period. I should add here that this success is the result of partnerships with numerous agencies, from local governments to workforce experts to educational institutions. In particular, Manatee County government and the Board of County Commissioners are instrumental on a daily basis, included but not limited to funding performance-based incentives that keep us competitive with other areas trying to create new jobs. With the Build Bradenton Area Plan, we are seeking to build on that foundation to take our local economy to the next level. Today, we'll begin with a briefing from our strategic plan consultants, Del Boyette and Tracy Sharp of Boyette Strategic Advisors. Del and Tracy will share their insights into the Bradenton area's assets and challenges as a location for businesses that are growing and creating high-impact jobs. Then, I'll take you through some examples of the visionary initiatives and recommendations included in the strategy. Following the briefing, we'll move upstairs to enjoy a formal luncheon where Del, Tracy, and I will be happy to answer any questions you may have. Before I introduce Del and Tracy, I want to tell you a little bit about their firm. Boyette Strategic Advisors was formed more than 10 years ago to address all aspects of economic development. They have offices in Atlanta, Little Rock, and Orlando. Del and Tracy work with diverse public and private economic development organizations. Their firm's portfolio of clients is impressive, but most impressive are the results those strategies generate. Their complete bios and more about their firm can be found in your program. So now, please join me in welcoming Del Boyette and Tracy Sharp.
Thank you, Sharon. To start out, we wanted to tell you a little bit about the process that we went through. The planning process for the Build Bradenton Area Plan began in the last quarter of 2014. It involved an exhaustive tour of the county, which included a physical tour of the Port of Manatee and IMG Academy, as well as others. In addition, stakeholder involvement, which was an extensive part, included elected officials, business and industry, investors of the Bradenton Area EDC, millennials, arts and cultural representatives, and many others. The process also involved extensive qualitative and quantitative research and analysis, as well as benchmarking against other markets where BSA analyzed how the Bradenton area compares as a location for companies in high-growth business sectors. The resulting recommendations identify which 6 targeted business and industry sectors the Bradenton area should focus its efforts, as well as highlighting 7 strategies or building blocks to make the area more competitive for companies seeking to expand or relocate their operations. And you're going to hear a lot more about that from Sharon in a little bit.
Tracy and I started our firm over 10 years ago, and we've been a part of many strategic plan rollouts. But I have to say, wow, 250 people for a paid lunch to participate in moving this forward is pretty amazing. We're pretty impressed. But we've been impressed from the very beginning. When we launched this process and launched the planning of the Build Bradenton Area Plan, Sharon gave us an exhaustive driving tour of Manatee County. My comments at that time, and for those of you who have gotten to know me, or my friends would say of me, I pretty much say it like it is. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's not so good. But when we were taking that tour, I made the comments, do you realize what you have here? Sharon, the sky's the limit here. And you know what? The Bradenton area is the business address for the South Tampa Bay region. Of course, there had to be a basis to substantiate these initial observations, and after many months of research, benchmarking, analysis, these initial comments proved to be true. Thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this plan. With your aggressive professional team, your committed board, and committed investors, we look forward to the implementation and, most importantly, the results.
Thank you, Del and Tracy. It was an absolute pleasure to work with them, not only on a professional basis, but we've also become very good friends, so it was a great experience. Before I share the consultant's recommendations, it's important to let you know that this planning effort was completely funded with private sector resources. Many communities are competing for the same companies and jobs. So in order to preserve our competitive advantage, some aspects of the research and strategy will not be made public. So let's get started. The first set of recommendations we requested from the consultants was to refine our industry sector targets for recruiting companies to the area. The consultants identified 6 broad sector categories, and here they are. Advanced manufacturing, no surprise there. Corporate operations, distribution and logistics, information technology, life sciences, and what we're famous for, sports performance. Of course, we will work with companies in other industries as we respond to inquiries, but these are the sectors that we will aggressively pursue in our recruitment efforts. The 7 building blocks for the Bradenton area are concentrated on identifying challenges and maximizing assets in order to elevate the area as the business address for the South Tampa Bay region. From expanding economic development resources, to fostering entrepreneurship, to developing increased programs for workforce talent attraction and retention, as well as maximizing the Bradenton area brand. We will continue to strengthen the business competitiveness of this community to ensure that we are an attractive location for companies to locate or expand their operations. Each of these building blocks in the plan includes action steps, many of which will be led not by the EDC, but by our partner agencies in the county and the region. We've already begun conversations with many of those partners to determine the viability of these initiatives. I'd like to give you an idea of the big and bold initiatives aimed at revitalizing our community's potential. Here are some examples. Develop a village of innovation in downtown Bradenton with a university or college affiliation to support and promote startup and entrepreneurial activity. According to a Deloitte study, 70% of the millennial generation expects to start their own business, and it is estimated that this generation will dominate the workforce by 2025, representing 75% of the total workforce. Entrepreneurship and innovation grow on a local level, and creating a place that encourages forming a network, peer-to-peer learning, and mentorship is crucial. Play a significant role in the development of a life sciences hub for West Florida, for the west coast of Florida. Florida is well positioned to be a global hub for innovative life sciences development, and the Bradenton area can play a significant role in its development. Research indicates that employment in this sector in our region is projected to grow by 10.3% over the next 5 years with above average wages. Because of this, the development of a life science research park in Manatee County should be pursued in conjunction with our institutions of higher learning. Develop a culinary market or district located near the Village of the Arts. This initiative would focus on the culinary arts with the idea of generating new commercial development such as restaurants, an expanded farmers market, and new living space. Explore developing an entertainment district near the riverfront in Palmetto. It is highly recommended to expand the capacity of the current convention center in Palmetto in conjunction with hotel development. A nice complement and a natural fit would be to create an entertainment district in downtown Palmetto to include restaurants, shopping, and other amenities to support convention visitors. Develop a distribution and logistics business park at Port Manatee to provide a focus for marketing available land adjacent to the port. Port Manatee is the only Florida port with an estimated 5,000 acres of land surrounding the 1,100-acre port property. The port offers easy access to Interstates 75, 275, and 4, as well as a short line railroad that directly connects to the CSX Corporation main line, less than a mile from the port's north gate. These assets combined provide an excellent opportunity to develop a Port Manatee distribution and logistics park. Create the best sports performance sector in the country, including developing a cluster of related businesses in and around the IMG Academy campus in West Bradenton. As most of you know, our area has many great sports venues, and as a result, sports tourism is a great boon to our economy. However, we also have a golden opportunity to grow the number of sports-related businesses here. IMG hosts facilities like the Gatorade Sports Science Institute, where scientists study the effects of nutrition on the human body before, during, and after exercise, and the Prince Innovation Center, where tennis athletes can receive customized product fitting and product concept testing activities. These and other like companies demonstrate the Bradenton area's viability for attracting similar sports research and development enterprises. Obviously, bold, visionary ideas like these will not happen quickly. As I noted before, the EDC's partners will be leading or involved in most aspects of implementing the strategy. To keep us all on task, we have performance metrics that we will use to judge our progress through 2020. And here they are. 62 business expansions and relocations, 11 startup companies formed, 4,000 new and retained jobs, and $460 million in capital investment. No doubt, These are aggressive targets. In order to reach them, we will need resources in place. In fact, just the EDC's role in implementation will require an additional $400,000 beyond the organization's current annual budget. Pursuing that funding will be a high priority for us. For some, that could be a daunting prospect, but in my years living in this community, I have learned that when we are presented with a challenge or an opportunity, people come together. They roll up their sleeves, figure out a plan, execute it, and get it done. This time will be no exception. To prove that point, we have a special guest with an exciting announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Josh McCoy, a member of the EDC Board of Directors and the Manatee County President of SunTrust Bank.
I'm excited to be here today to make a special announcement on behalf of SunTrust Bank. First, we commend the EDC for producing results for our community at such a high level. Because of the EDC and the network of partner agencies, Manatee County is a pace setter for corporate relocations and expansions in Florida. We are also impressed with the new strategic plan, particularly its focus on fostering innovation and entrepreneurship. SunTrust shares this priority, which demonstrates the EDC's vision for the community's economic future. Finally, we at SunTrust realize that our business has benefited from the EDC's results, and we believe that trend will continue with this new plan. For these reasons, I am pleased to announce that in 2016, SunTrust will invest $25,000 in the implementation of the Build Bradenton Area Economic Plan. Thank you.
Wow. What a fantastic endorsement of the direction the Build Bradenton Area Plan intends to take this community. Thank you, Josh and SunTrust, for setting the pace as we look toward implementing this bold strategy. We sincerely appreciate your leadership. Another round of applause, please, for this outstanding corporate citizen. We began this briefing with the tune Pure Imagination. As this strategy has come together, I've been doing a lot of imagining of my own. What could we imagine happening in the Bradenton area as we act on the Build Bradenton Area Plan? Could the Bradenton Area Culinary District host an international event of the James Beard Foundation? Could the Village of Innovation launch the next Google or Pixar? Could the newly expanded state-of-the-art convention center host a conference for LinkedIn? Could the world's top athletes call Bradenton home for performance training? Oh, wait, they already do. Imagination isn't all it takes. Imagination is where it begins. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please join us upstairs for lunch and the Q&A session.